All right. Mario Kart Wii cheating epidemic. What the hell is this?
The words cheating and Mario Kart Wii were synonymous with each other at one point, with almost every new record being accused of illegitimacy, and for good reason. Shortly after the game's release, multiple methods of cheating began to proliferate online, with the leaderboards becoming infected with fake times. To understand how this
Whoa.
happened,
What? That was wait. Oh, 0-0. They completed the race in like a tenth of a second. What? Bro, I didn't even know it was possible to cheat. Like when you say like the word Nintendo to me, it doesn't even register that there could be cheaters on Nintendo. That's the crazy part. Cuz the Nintendo brand is like the family friendly brand. I didn't think anybody was actually trying to like make a name for themselves on Nintendo or the Wii for that matter.
To understand how this happened, we need to rewind to April 2008 when the sixth installment of Mario Kart released for the Wii. And notably, it was the first in the series that came with online leaderboards that updated in real time. Record
Oh shit. Like conceptually, that's a really cool idea. But however, it seems whenever there's an online leaderboard, like you're just opening yourself up to having motherfuckers just cheat their way to the top. It seems like this dude, oh wow, he completed the race in not even any time at all. He is just start and stop, and he won. Amazing. Uh, I mean, yeah, these guys just like ruin it for everybody. Like, why? I mean, to be fair, um, if they can't find cheats, like if you're a developer, you can obviously figure out like, oh, this guy's a cheater. Just ban that account. Fuck him.
Records set in April are almost certainly legit, but in May, something happened that changed the landscape forever. The Homebrew channel for the Wii was released. The Homebrew channel allows you to run unofficial applications on your system, which let you use cheat codes in Mario Kart Wii, similar to a
Oh,
Game Shark. By injecting codes into the game with Homebrew, you could generate many different effects, and in July, the leaderboards would see the first of these codes wreak havoc.
oh wow, there it is. SD cheats right there. Whatever it is. Load debugger, gecko hook type, force palo, whatever. I don't know any of this shit, dude. Like what? SD cheats.
As a cheat that finished a race when you drove over the line at the start would be released. Nintendo didn't have anti-cheat mechanisms built into the
Oh
leaderboards,
no.
so things quickly degenerated into world records of only a couple frames. And the
Jeez.
only measure put into place to stop this was to manually purge the cheated times every so often. Online play was plagued with cheaters as well, as there were codes that would have you win a race even if you didn't finish first. Others
Oh wow. Bro, I know like a decent amount about like FPS cheats, but like I know nothing about any other types of cheats, and even more so racing games, let alone Mario Kart. Oh my god.
that ignored the effects of items, and some that had you finish in last regardless of your final place in a race, which allowed for hackers to ruin all forms of competition in the game. This made record keeping in the early days incredibly hard to do, but some external websites and YouTube channels did make an effort to keep the legitimate record history intact.
Oh, that's
However,
cool.
this only served to start an arms race between players that wanted to play legitimately and those that wanted to cheat. Sometimes when making a video, I cover complicated programming.
Yeah, but like there's the official Nintendo leaderboard. They have to manually go in and remove your times because from what I've seen, it seems like they're just obviously cheats. I mean, granted, you could probably make a cheat where you actually have to do the race, but your cart just goes like a little bit faster, to make it seem legitimate. Like, there's who's to stop anyone from doing that type of cheat? But like these obvious times where it's like you completed the race in like less than 1/10 of a second, it's like yeah, that's the easiest like out, get out type of deal. Um, so once you realize that leaderboard has been compromised, there's no value in it. So then what did the community do? They made their own self-imposed leaderboard. I mean, which is fine until I don't know, you have like some friends that own the website that like want to be like, oh, hey, buddy that owns the leaderboard website, can you like minus a couple seconds or minus like a couple tenths of a second to make me go a little bit quicker or some shit. I mean, there's faults to like every version of this, but I don't know. If it worked, it worked.
Concepts, and if you want to understand them better yourself, then this video's sponsor Brilliant is a free and easy way to learn about them. Brilliant is an interactive way to learn complex topics like data and computer science, as they offer courses on a variety of subjects with new lessons being added each month. If you're a beginner or already have advanced knowledge of a topic, Brilliant customizes its content to fit your skills and lets you progress through the courses at your own pace. Take the computer science course. If you're just starting out, you can begin by learning fundamental concepts before you jump into writing code. Brilliant is built for busy people, and you don't have to spend hours a day consuming course content. If you're looking to pick up a new skill for a resume or just want to learn something new, you can complete topics at your own pace after work or school, and before you know it, you'll have something to show for your efforts. If you want to learn through interactive courses, go to brilliant.org/Abasoft to start.
Bro, honestly, I could probably use a course like this to like re-up my math skills. I am just so bad at math. like I used to be like decent at math when I was in like high school and college, but after, like, if you don't use it, you lose it type. It's just one of those things. It's like it's its own language, dude.
Your 30-day free trial, and the first 200 people to sign up get 20% off the annual plan. Get learning now by clicking the link. And with that, let's get back to the cheated leaderboards in Mario Kart Wii. Instead of creating...
That's just so funny to hear. Again, the cheated leaderboards in Mario Kart Wii.
Creating blatantly false times, cheaters now pivoted to...
Like, if you're... like, I understand, like, why cheaters do what they do. Most of the time it's either they just want to get a rise out of people, they just want to ruin someone else's day, it just legitimately makes them happy, and those are all like whatever reasons. But I don't know, man. Like, they just honestly they just do it to get a reaction out of people.
Setting times that were just worse than perfect or slightly better than the world record. And to do this, they used 4 different codes. The first is slow motion, which slows the frame rate down to a value the cheater determines. All that's required once it's active is holding the Y button down, and you'll be able to set up race lines and mini turbos at a reduced frame rate. This is an almost undetectable cheat, since when you watch the ghost of the race, everything is in the game's normal frame rate. But due to issues with the playback quality, players wouldn't submit ghost videos or upload them to YouTube. Instead, they used another cheat called Live Replay. The Live Replay code takes the inputs from a ghost and plays them through your controller, allowing you to watch a ghost file with the HUD active. A lot of the world record channels would use this code when posting records of other players, as the in-game ghost playback didn't have great quality. But Live Replay fixed most of the playback issues. So how did these record channels get the ghost data of other players in the first place? Mario Kart Wii allowed you to download the world record ghost for each track, so you could see what the player was doing for yourself. And
oh my god, that's crazy, dude. I mean, and it's actually like a really cool idea to implement. Like, you literally just download the VOD to have that level of, I don't know-how. Like, if you, like, let's say that all of the cheater, like, there were no cheaters, and this was like a complete legitimate leaderboard. If you were just like a regular good-ass player, just from like looking at the times and whatnot, if you wanted to see what they did and when they did it in concept, this seems like a really cool idea. I mean, because we have like VOD reviews in sports, so why not video games to the level that you can actually just download the race and see what they did? Like, that sounds cool, and it's kind of sad that like not a lot of live service games do this. I mean, I think like, isn't it with like League of Legends you can do this? But I think that's it. I'm not even sure on that. I just think it is. I just don't play League of Legends. When I did, meh.
Record-keeping websites such as Mashals were used to upload ghost data so everyone could share new strats and non-first place times more easily. Live Replay on its own isn't super useful for cheating, but if you combined it with a cheat called task code, you could create fake times almost undetected. If you recall, Live Replay feeds the game inputs based on the ghost file, so once you start it, you can't add inputs yourself. But task code disables Live Replay when you activate it, allowing you to resume control of the cart. By combining the two, you...
Yeah, if you don't know, task code is like tool assisted, I think, system. And then code is just code. And it's literally just doing like what he's saying.
Could perfectly execute a difficult skip or part of the track, then use Live Replay to have the game execute it for you, then use task code to assume control once you were past it, making it possible to achieve records very quickly. Initially, players weren't very smart with this code, and runner Hahe noticed that Wonneroy's world record exactly matched his run to the frame, except at the finish, where the ending was slightly stronger for a faster time. The cheaters adapted, however, and instead of copying the entirety of a world record ghost, they would change more than just a single mini turbo or wheelie to make it harder to catch. While mini turbos are the main mechanic for driving fast,
that's actually crazy to think about in terms of like racing games. And what is it? I think like with Mario Kart, you have the one function where the more you drift, like if you drift a X amount of time, you get like a little boost off the drift and it like shoots you forward a little bit. If you apply this to like a regular racing sim or not sim but like game when there's like no systems like this, like let's try to apply this to like Gran Turismo. I would have to imagine the higher up the leaderboard you go, the more similar the races will look. I mean, because that dude was complaining that it looked like too perfect when you compare the new person's run to his run. And it's like, well, isn't that essentially the goal? To be like the fastest? And if you figured out the correct racing lines, well then, of course it's going to look similar.
the wheelie is important as well and can help gain small advantages across a run. To perform one, you press up on the D-pad, and while it's active, your maximum speed is increased by 15%, with it lasting for 180 frames. Once the wheelie is finished, your speed falls back to the normal level by 3 units per frame, and while in the wheelie state, you can't hold the button to keep it active, meaning you need to time your next input as close to the end of the wheelie as possible. This trick is called a chain
wheelies or some shit like that. And okay, I get it. So this other person just made a cheat to where it perfectly times the wheelies.
Wheelie, and if done at the earliest possible frame, you only lose 3 units of speed. But since the game runs at 50 or 60 frames depending on your region, this isn't the easiest trick to perform perfectly, which is where the next cheat code comes in. Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire is essentially a turbo cheat that spams a button input every frame it can, and since it's not holding the button, this allows you to turn it on as your wheelie is ending and start another wheelie on the first possible frame. Rapid Fire was impossible to detect since a world record is expected to have good chain wheelies in it, and a person being accused of using Rapid Fire could just say that they got lucky with the execution, as there's no hard evidence that could convict them. But
shit.
This didn't stop the community from being suspicious of players that consistently hit chain wheelies on the first frame. You might be wondering how these cheats came to be. Rapid Fire, Slow-Mo, and Live Replay were released by a channel called MDM Wii, but task code has a unique history. A German player by the name of Kevin figured out that if he modified part of the Live Replay code, he could regain control of the cart whenever he wanted. He didn't even think twice about using this cheat once he discovered it and copied this world record on Bowser's Castle 3 frame for frame, except for a single wheelie at the end that he performed a few frames better to snag the world record. There are plenty of instances of players cheating a record or two, but one player in particular managed to amass at least 15 world records across different tracks. Razer is a divisive name in the community as he was a very skilled player. He even theorized an ultra shortcut on Maple Treeway that led to it being hit for the first time. But despite being a skilled and knowledgeable player, the use of codes for many of his world records was always suspected.
What the hell just happened?
During his time in the community, he went by many aliases in an attempt to dodge cheating allegations. Razer, Black, Walter, BlackieBoy39, and MKW Champ are all names he used, with MKW Records, TNP Ronnie, and Mia all being suspected names he used as well. In the case of MKW Records, this was a channel that uploaded record times of other players, so you might ask, why is this suspected to...
Bro, is this still a thing? in like the Mario Kart community for whatever Mario Kart it's on, because they have something like this in the Monster Hunter community with speedruns on like certain quests or certain monster types. Um, but I would say, I think it's like it would be way harder to cheat in Monster Hunter with just cheats, with how like organic the monsters AI are. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's probably possible to some degree, but I had no idea that there was like a speed run community of like certain tracks. They were trying to like push the limit. This is news to me.
to be one of Razer's alts? And the answer is because in addition to uploading world records, it also posted personal bests as well, but every one of them belonged to Razer. For a channel to upload world records from the community but then only post personal bests of a single player is a bit odd. But when you take into account that other record channels such as Mander and Mindscarp refuse to upload times submitted by Razer, it makes more sense why MKWe Records is suspected to be a Razer alt. But it's not even close to the most bizarre. Take Mia for example. This was a run of Donkey Kong's Jungle Parkway that beat Razer's world record by a few frames. But the interesting thing is that Mia was supposedly Razer's girlfriend. You can see comments ridiculing him as they suspect this not only to be Razer, but another cheated time as well.
The end of lap 3 SC kind of proves he tasses. No one will be stupid enough to be Walter's girlfriend. Rolls eyes. Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh man. And meanwhile, this guy is just, if it's a single dude, he's just sitting back in his chair creating this like, I don't know, like this group of people that's all him, but to the world, it's a bunch of people that know him or like is his girlfriend.
So let's investigate that claim. From the start, you can see that Razer's time uses Daisy, and Mia's time uses a Mii Racer, which has slower statistics than Daisy. If Razer were to have used task code to make the Mii Racer time from the Daisy record, there would certainly have been a desync due to the racers having different stats. For example, if on frame 500 Daisy's go starts a drift, the Mii Racer would start a drift earlier than it was supposed to since it's slower, leading to a wildly different result. This means that Razer would have to have created two different task runs, which goes to show the lengths players were going through not to get caught back in 2010. But
That's crazy. Holy crap. This person is like taking into account the individual statistics and still breaking records on different characters based off of their own like personal stats. So each run will look different in terms of I don't know, just like the angles that they take because of the character's stats. Oh my god.
this wouldn't even
No shit, Nintendo wasn't ready for this.
have been the most prolific alt account Razer was suspected to have made. For that, we need to look at TNP Ronnie. In a video titled Goodbye Razer, set to the song Bad Day by Daniel Powder, it's announced that Razer has died, then shows screenshots of various tracks he held the record on. The comment section is full of outrageous comments, and it's suspected that Razer made this video to try and move past all of the cheating accusations. If you thought these antics were where Razer's story ends, don't get off the Mario Bros bus analogy just yet, because he achieved something that no other cheater in history ever accomplished. He cheated a tool-assisted speedrun. If you're unfamiliar with a TAS, it's a speedrun created with external tools to show off impossible tricks or a perfect run. And Razer created a Dry Ruins TAS that he claimed the TAS world record with. But it had three big problems: his use of the lake skip shortcut, how his cart interacts with the off-road section, and his use of a jammed trick. The lake skip shortcut isn't believed to be possible, as it involves going through an off-road section which kills your speed and prohibits making the jump. The closest anyone has come is in this video by Mark, where he makes the jump but lands short of the bridge. With TAS experts theorizing,
he landed in like the middle of that shit.
That Razer edited the off-road speed reduction value in his TAS.
Oh wait, so even look up like on the map, he's trying to go from like here to there.
And luckily, there are two things we can do to test this theory. Looking at the sections where he touches the off-road, we see that no speed penalty is ever applied, particularly at this spot around 45 seconds. He goes off-road for 5 or 6 frames, but receives no observable penalty to his speed. Every frame you're off-road, you lose 3 units of speed, so Razer should have gone from 84 units down to 66, which would be visually obvious but doesn't happen in his TAS. And if we look at the jammed trick, we find the irrefutable proof that we need. A jammed trick happens when you do a trick off a ramp, and within 5 to 7 frames of starting the trick, you touch the ground again for a single frame. The game doesn't expect you to be grounded this quick after doing a trick, so it counts you as still being in the air, but there are consequences from touching the ground that occur. If you're drifting in the air while performing the jam trick, the drift sparks that shoot from your tires will appear after the single frame ground touch, with another effect being that the game will start reducing your speed to the base off-road limit of about 30 units per frame until you touch the track again.
Oh yeah.
In Razer's TAS, you can see that he gets a jammed trick but doesn't get any speed reduction.
Oh shit, he just kept going at full speed, dude. Holy shit. Oh my god. And this, like, was this during, before, or after when people were like data mining games, or did people simply just go at this like brute force method and like just, I don't know, figure out what, I don't know, because like when I say the word data mine, it's like you figure out the mechanics of the game and the values and all this shit, and I didn't even know you like that you lost precisely 3 units of speed whenever you're like in these little side roads. Because whenever I played it like with my sister, and it's like, and I go off of the side like over here in the sand, it's like, yeah, I would slow down, but I wouldn't really pay attention to it. But oh my god.
And according to Tassers, the sparks you see on his tires are from touching the off-road for a single frame while drifting during the jam trick. And the going theory for why Razer's jam trick doesn't lose speed is that he edited the speed reduction value of the off-road section using codes. Razer's TAS came out in February of 2012, well before the jammed trick was fully understood, so at the time, there wasn't any hard proof the TAS was fake. And up to this point, nobody had been able to prove that his other runs were cheated either. But that was about to change, as a method to analyze suspected cheated times was just around the corner. In July, a script was developed that could check the inputs on a ghost. In Mario Kart Wii, the game doesn't store ghosts as video files, as that's expensive. Instead, it tracks the inputs a player makes, then plays them back, so when you download a world record ghost, all you're getting is essentially an input file. The script that was created.
Yes, but to my knowledge, with how controllers work, I mean, I'm assuming this is like done with some sort of like Nintendo controller. Whenever you push the thumbstick one way or another, it's just constant inputs. So let's say like this is the stick, does the Nintendo controller, like, is it like so sensitive that it's like, it's, if you're gonna go like this way, is it gonna input this way at, I don't know, 5 inputs a second, versus like if you push the thumbstick over like this much, it's gonna push the inputs through at a constant rate of like 10 inputs a second? And like, are there like trigger points and shit like that? That's crazy if that was how sophisticated the controller was.
Created looked at the input file of a ghost and showed the inputs in a readable format. And looking at various world records, it found 18 players that had been using rapid fire to achieve perfect wheelies. Looking at a legit input file, we can see that the game would receive a D-pad up input and register anywhere from 3 to
So what, 10, 1, 0, 0?
6 frames between that one and the next, which is a regular spread of times between human inputs.
Okay.
If we look at a ghost file where...
Yeah, like the human reaction time is anywhere from like somewhere between, I don't know, like some lucky predictable reactions of around like 100 to like 200 milliseconds. It's somewhere in there. Like if you're on like 100, you like predicted it a little bit and you just reacted. Like 200 is like solely off reaction and like very little predictability.
Rapid fire is present, we see that between each input, there's only a single frame, which is indicative of a code being used. Razer had claimed over 15 world records, and across 2 of his aliases, a total of 6 runs were caught using rapid fire, which just goes to show how careful he was not to use the same cheating method on every record. Eventually,
that's crazy.
He would admit on the forums that he cheated, and did it because he wanted to brag to his friends. When it comes to the alias
No, it has to be more than that. There's no shot it was that dumb. I just wanted to brag to my friends. What?
He mentioned that this didn't get him around vigilant record channels like Mander's, as Mander created his own cheat detections and had a way to check a Wii ID from a ghost file, which is why he wouldn't post Razer's time despite him using different aliases. Razer admits to using task code, live replay, and slow-mo as his main methods of cheating, then suggests some ways that suspicious players could potentially be caught. After this, Razer never came back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that reason why cheaters cheat. Cheaters also cheat because whenever that you get up to like a high enough level in terms of skill with anything, when someone like either in racing gets either like a better time than you, or in terms of like shooters, like they kill you quicker, what, I don't know why, but like it always seems like the first reason that people go to is that guy's cheating. How do I know? I don't know, but it feels like it because I am at this level, and this level is really freaking good. So I'm going to say he's cheating, and to combat that motherfucker, I'm going to start cheating too. That's another reason.
To set records or interact with the community much, as his actions had rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But if we go back to the list of people caught using rapid fire, we see one name that surprised everyone: Mander. Mander is an interesting figure as he has a long history of setting records in Mario Kart Super Circuit. Some of these records appeared to be too good, and a few members of the community...
Bro, this is Rainbow Road? What?
...suspected that he used tools to create them, although nothing was ever proven, and Mander insists to this day that they are legitimate. When the software analyzing rapid fire was released, Mander's Moonview Highway run had over 2100 wheelie inputs, but Mander claims this time is legit and even posted a video defending himself from the accusations.
Wait. With this little like joystick thing, it's like it doesn't show like the actual location of the joystick. It just shows center or like all the way over there. But that's not how joysticks work. There is a ton of space between the... There's a ton of space. Here, let me go back and show you real quick. Right there.
Proven, and Mander insists to this day that they are legitimate. When the software analyzing rapid fire was released, Mander's Moonview Highway run had over 2100 wheelie inputs.
Yeah, like you can see with just the joystick thing alone, it's only showing center or all the way left or all the way right. But a joystick, there's travel time, there's travel distance. So, I mean, if this is like the first iteration of a cheat detection system, I mean, that's fine. But I mean, like a more sophisticated one would probably show like the real time location, or maybe this is just like a visual representation of like the inputs. To I mean, because nobody whips their fucking controller stick like perfectly to the left or the right. It's usually like they whip it over there and it's like it jiggles a little bit.
But Mander claims this time is legit and even posted a video defending himself from the accusations. This was an odd case, as Mander ran one of the record hub channels and had even caught cheaters himself using software he created. This left a lot of...
Wait, unless that wasn't a joystick and that was just like the D-pad, then I'm just completely wrong.
Questions for the community. Were his other runs in the game legitimate? What about his records in Super Circuit? These questions will be answered in my next video, as we'll be taking a closer look at Mander's times and one of the biggest scandals to ever happen in Mario Kart.
Oh,
Thanks for
shit.
watching, and I hope to see you in the next exciting episode of Abysoft Z.
Nice.
The words
Dang, dude, I didn't know there were fucking cheaters in Mario Kart. I wonder if it's still like prevalent today. Like, how much clout can you get from being like a top level Mario Kart bro? That's so funny to me. It's like, oh, what are you good at? Like all the gamer bros just sitting there. What are you good? What game are you good at? I'm good at Counter-Strike. I'm good at Valorant. What game are you good at? I'm good at the most current version of Mario Kart, bitches. Everyone's just like, okay. Oh man. And then here come the Gran Turismo bros being like peasants. Oh Mario Kart's not a real racing game. Oh man, this is funny, but also kind of sad because it's just cheaters are everywhere in all types of video games, and it's not just FPS. I mean, there's fucking cheats for Fall Guys for Christ's sake, so it's whatever. But no, I thought this is a really cool video, and I just thought this was interesting and couldn't really believe it when I saw it. So yeah, thanks for the video, man, and I can't wait to see some more. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, see ya.